You're excited. You're like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, college wrestling is exciting. How are you guys doing today? Anything top of mind for you guys outside of the 5 for 5 college wrestling? Obviously, the Final X. That's not until. Is that not till next month? When is that?
I thought like June.
Okay, so we got some time for
or
that.
something. Because one of the worlds.
Where's it at? Out in New Jersey or somewhere?
Yep.
Delaware, New Jersey, something like that.
New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Don't they bowl there? Isn't that where
Newark, Newark, New Jersey. Sorry.
Brunswick is Marty, aren't you a bowler?
A bowler?
Yeah, you look like you're in a bowling league, no?
I know. I don't smoke cigarettes, so I can't bowl.
I didn't know that was one of the.
Yeah, it's one of the prerequisites.
That's one of those prerequisites. Have you ever gone to like a high school bowling match? I know probably that's a dumb question.
No, but you know what? As a teacher, as an educator at Hononegah High School, I took kids bowling 3 days a week. It was awesome. Me and Randy Weibel take his PE class on some of my special needs kids, and we'd go at least sometimes 5 days a week. It was awesome.
Yeah.
South Beloit, they got the best bowling alley around.
Well, what are we looking at here? This is the lineup here.
Yeah, this is the lineup. Luke Lildahl versus Spencer Lee, Marcus Blaze versus Jax Forrest, Real Woods versus Bo Bassett, Ridge Lovett, Zane Rutherford, James Green, David Carr, Levi Haynes, Chance Marsteller, Zahid, Kyle Dake, Hidley, Machiavelli. Both of those guys are NC State guys. Look at that.
Yeah.
Snyder, Buchanan.
You could have two kids who wrestled together this year in high school could be on the world team together this year. Senior world team.
Which is amazing.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is a couple things. Let's talk about that. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, high school kids have had success. I do remember going to the Midlands a couple times with Alex Sertzis was wrestling in the Midlands, and that was a big deal. I know Kerry Colat was well known for wrestling at the highest level. What are you guys' thoughts on that? How is it happening? And is it going to happen continuously, or is this like a random occurrence?
Oh, I think it's going to be all the time now.
I think
better.
The kids that are at those higher level are now training a lot differently, and I think the rules have changed to open up the opportunities for them to wrestle at the college. They can go to opens. I think certain states, and I think the kids who want to compete that are now seeking out those opportunities. So if they're somewhere and, hey, Illinois, they don't allow me to wrestle in college opens, they're finding a way to get there.
Yep, that's for sure.
A kid to think that like Bo Bassett and Jax Force. I mean, you've heard those names for Bo Bassett for how long now? 5-6 years. I mean, so to think that we've been talking about this kid for that long, and he's a senior in high school. I mean, it's just interesting to see the future with him. Hopefully it's bright, right? But those guys are, I mean, Jax Force already showed, like, he's on a different level. I mean, they won the Powerade this year and then graduated and won an NCAA. He was on the world team last year as a senior in high school, finished 5th, right? I think in the Worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, he made it to the semis and then lost his next two. And Marcus Blaze, I mean, is he a redshirt freshman, or was he a true freshman this year?
He was a true freshman this year, I believe.
I mean, those guys are all 18, 19 years old. So
yeah, and you mentioned something too. Yeah, well, you mentioned something too about like the competing in open tournaments. Again, I think wrestling is extremely based on your competition. Like if you're a good if you're a good wrestler, high competitor, like you go to these big events because these bigger events challenge you. They push your training. They lock you in basically mentally. Well, certain states have different rules, right? So like in the state of Iowa, you're allowed to go to open tournaments without getting like eligibility stuff changed. Well, state of Illinois, for instance, if you go to an open college tournament, you're ineligible for the IHSA stuff. What are you guys just thinking? No, I don't even think you can get permission for that.
I thought they had
not for the college. You can get permission for open. You can get permission for these like all-star events that they gave, but once you wrestle college, you're no longer able to wrestle high school. But with that being said, this 5-for-5 changes things, right? Because there's no longer a redshirt year. So without a redshirt year, a lot of seniors, and this has already been happening at Penn State, at Cornell. I know some people out there that have done this, but these guys are going to start moving to the universities and taking their redshirt as a senior year in high school. And what are you guys' thoughts about that?
You got to.
Well, Marty, I'm asking.
Well, somewhere along the line, you got to let a kid be a kid too.
Right.
I get it. I understand it. I've been involved in the sport my whole life, but man, you got to still be a kid and a young person and enjoy your high school because it's only one time in life. College. Yeah.
But isn't it fair to say that the guys that are going to be doing this, they're more interested in excelling in wrestling than they are necessarily like
their interest is a lot different than the normal high school kid.
Yeah.
They got a mindset of go. I mean, I think like going back, like Kyle Snyder might have been one of the first that was really well known for doing that, right? He was a 3-time, maybe undefeated in Maryland and gave up his senior year to go to Ohio State to start training, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, why would you do that? You have a chance to be a 4-time state champ, but in those guys' mindset, they're not, so what, I've already done it. I want what's the next level. And for Kyle Snyder, it's really worked out, right? I mean, he's been basically USA wrestling since he was 18 or 19 years old. And so I think.
But it's such a small proportion though, too, also.
I was just going to say for maybe the amount of kids that would do it, I don't know of the percentile that it works out that way. Some of them, so.
Yeah, I would be curious what percentage of people, because again, I don't think these universities want everybody to do it, right? Right. That could be a distraction itself. But you also
open door policy. Hey, we want all you coming here. I mean, I think
it's a lot of
few, right?
What's that?
I don't know. I mean, you're not. I think it's a select few that they want.
Yeah, that's the thing you're talking about. A small percentage of wrestlers who are able to do that. Where there are so many kids that love wrestling that are never even going to go to state, but they're going to wrestle on their high school team, and they're going to.
Right.
Yeah, but here's another thing. So, do you know who the head wrestling coach is at State College High School?
Cody Sanderson.
Bo Nichols' father. And then you think of like Stillwater High School. Stillwater High School has been, a place where people have gone.
Okie State kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's going to be a mixture. It's not necessarily that all kids are going to forego their senior year, but almost guaranteed these schools around the universities are definitely going to be spots.
They've been doing that in Iowa all the time, Iowa City.
Yep.
Right.
For sure.
But that's what, 1 or 2 kids you're looking at. We're talking about the whole sport of wrestling, which is, a necessity. You got to have.
Well, I don't think this is going to be a majority thing at all.
No, it can't be. It just won't be. Right. They don't want that. Right.
Well, plus it doesn't even make sense for some kid that isn't going to go to, if you're not a blue chip recruit going to a Division I school. Again, recruiting's changing because they're not going to recruit a bunch of kids. They're going to get a select few kids, and then they're going to look at transfer portal. They're going to look at their roster themselves. It's just not going to be the same.
That's been the last few years. I think these top colleges or whatever, hey, we need a 25-pounder. They're not looking at the high school first. They're
the portal,
the portal, and now let's look at,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Iowa, right? They had Ayala's brother in there, right?
Yeah.
He's been in that room a couple of years now. Drew, or is it Drew? Drake,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's going to Iowa State, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
But instead of putting him in at 25, they went to the portal and brought in Rutgers Peterson kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the same thing for Illinois right now. So if you look at Illinois right now, they just brought in a 33-41 and 33 and 41.
Another kid too, right? I thought like a 65 or something, but could be
They
wrong.
might, but yeah, I mean, I'm so again, I feel a little bit of both of, like one, that's the situation. Two, I'm not super pumped about it because it proves my theory because, college wrestling is, if there's anything I wish I knew before I went to college wrestling, it was just that they don't necessarily, I don't want to say they don't care about you, but it's like, it's a very, very shrewd environment, right?
Well,
They're not necessarily
it's not
worried
just-
about you.
It's not just limited to college wrestling; it's college sports.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
those coaches are getting paid a lot of money, and it's not to lose, right?
Yeah.
So it's sad to say, it's across
Well-
the board. It's what can you do for me now? And if you're not doing it for me now, I need someone who is.
And what
Right.
are we talking about? What percentage of people from high school kids that wrestled and will go on to college and actually wrestle their entire career in college? It's like 3%. It's like a crazy number. So we're talking about the 3% of wrestling where we should be talking about the other part of wrestling that makes it so good, and high school wrestling. And, we're kind of on this thing of these high level guys where.
Right. And where wrestling could really benefit at the college level now is the changes could even be a trickle down, like the Division III schools could
Right.
because now these guys are like, hey, I mean, they want to wrestle. I mean, it's
Well, I guess this is a good transition, good conversation.
has that effect,
Well, Marty, I like that you're bringing this up, right? So I think that there's a complicated situation that we're embarking on, right? Like there's this pursuit of mastery in the sport of wrestling that creates these opportunities from a professional standpoint, whether it's you get a college education, whether you get money from NIL, whether you get jobs afterwards, maybe you want to be a professional coach, right? This is the avenue for that type of thing. And then you have the majority of the participants in the sport who aren't maybe necessarily good enough to go down. They're not good enough to get these necessarily competitive opportunities, but the sport still has extreme value. Now I'm struggling with how to communicate to people. Well, okay, you should wrestle because it's good for you. And I love wrestling because of all the, intrinsic value that it gives. It's a martial art to me. Like, I think anytime you do something, again, I can compare it to golf. I love golf for the same reasons as to how it works my brain and how it activates my process of learning and curiosity and stuff. But how do you manage the excitement of the quote unquote professional level while also encouraging and like fostering the culture of, hey, this isn't even about getting to college because most of you won't get to college. So how do you do that? I guess that I don't really have a great question, but
Well, here's the thing with wrestling is that so many kids see that they think they're going to be a Division I wrestler, and it's just such a small percentage. And then when all of a sudden there's a kid think, well, I want to wrestle in college. I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about going Division III? Division III is a great way to wrestle. I mean, that's where I wrestled at Loris for a year until I got hurt in Division III, and it was just, it's so competitive, and it's so, I mean, it's just a great way to go. And you freaking, go to the nationals and watch Division III nationals. It's a high level of wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, it, Dalton, you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But I mean, right now, wrestling, like if you think about that, though, like I think wrestling itself is such a niche sport. So it's like wrestling is popular to us, right? So we all know who David Carr is. We all know who Mitchell Messenbrink
wrestling's
is.
popular to a lot of people.
Yeah, but if you go to the grocery store and start asking people if they know who Mitchell Messenbrink is, they won't tell you that they know.
Well, you could do that. That's in any sport.
Do you think at what threshold do you think, what sport, like if you said, well, I guess Peyton Manning's he's older, he's
Right.
experienced. So,
you walk into
yeah.
any grocery store in Iowa and you say, who's Dan Gable? Who's the
Yeah.
brands? Well, they go, well, the brands. Well, I'm not sure who
Yeah.
they are, but I know Dan Gable.
They're
Well,
the guys
again,
that should get fired.
listen, I am envious. I think Iowa is the enigma because I think that's a proper word, but it's like it's so unique. The state of Iowa is like they are professional wrestling, right?
Well,
like
'cause
they love it.
They have nothing else there. You got no professional sports, do you?
What?
In Iowa, is there any?
No, none, zero.
Right.
But it's okay. We got the we got the Iowa Cubs, one level down from the Major League Baseball.
Exactly, no professional teams.
Yeah. No.
So I mean, you rally around your universities, right?
You do. Yeah.
So if your university puts out good product, it automatically, boom.
Yeah. So I think Iowa is just uniquely different, but I think across the other 50 states, across the other 50 states, like wrestling is really not that popular. So Division III, although inside the world, is a great opportunity to wrestle. But again, I don't even know if everybody's going to continue to go to college at the same percentage. So again,
D3 wrestling is hotter than hell in Iowa.
Yeah.
All those Division III programs, Wartburg, Loris.
And again, I don't know state of Iowa. You know, in Wisconsin, how they have the Wisconsin system. So if you go to one school, you could technically transfer and go to the other school. Like they're all like connected.
They're all state schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where all the schools in Iowa are private schools.
Okay. Okay. So Iowa's actually universities are all private.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all the Wisconsin's all like University of Wisconsin Whitewater, University of Wisconsin Lacrosse. It's like small branches.
Yeah,
I see.
Which is I tell kids all the time. I mean, if you want to go Division III and compete at a good level, that Wisconsin conference.
Yeah. Well, especially Whitewater because they got Adam Latella.
Yeah. Well, no, that's kind of what I was kind of talking to. Like, I don't know how many other states have the D3 system like Wisconsin, because it seems like it's a very good system.
Yeah.
Illinois' D3 system's a little different.
It's a lot of private.
And then, like you said, Iowa is different as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been curious about that because, like I said, I love competitive wrestling. I love following it. I'm really a fan of elite level wrestling. I'm very inspired and motivated to see the best wrestlers because I know how hard it is. I know the journey to get there. It's challenging, but at the same time, I work with other kids that aren't going to go to Division I level. They're not going to win state, and I still want them to pursue their best self. And I definitely don't want them to get thinking that, if they're not professional level, then it's not worth doing. Right?
That's what I think wrestling offers kids. You don't have to. There's so much the sport teaches you about yourself, humility, perseverance. I mean, that just because you may never even be the varsity guy in your school, you can learn so much from the sport of wrestling that you'll carry over into life. I honestly believe I've always told kids, man, if you made it through 4 years of wrestling, then there's nothing you mentally should not be able to do in life.
Yeah, and people forget that in wrestling too. Like you're saying, Dan, you got to fill a lineup in high school. You got to make sure you have a guy because it's zero fun if you're a really, really good wrestler on a team that sucks. It just usually nowadays they just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of just staying in their own school district. I mean,
well, that's another. Yeah, I mean, it's another conversation too, because I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot because how many good wrestlers get hurt by the wrestling season because the coaches are, again, sometimes it's not even necessarily a bad coach, but say you're a coach and you have 30 guys who are JV level wrestlers, and then you have one guy who's good. Well, your practices and everything that you do is going to be probably centered around the 30 guys that are JV level. And then that one guy, he doesn't get actually what necessarily he needs because the environment is majority of people still learning the sport and still progressing and still getting. So, you'll have a guy who's like really good. Now he's running the hallways too much, or he's working on a high crotch really slowly or something like,
the
stuff
old
like
philosophy I had.
You got to find a good practice partner.
I always had somebody, I don't care who it was in our wrestling room, and we have a lot of good wrestlers, great wrestlers, and I always had somebody that could beat them.
Yeah,
always had great workout partners, always. But I mean, that's my whole philosophy. I believe in a team. I don't believe in individuals are going to be there. They're going to make other people better.
Right.
They're going to be there. They're going to do the hard work in the off season. They're going to do all that stuff. But you got to have a team.
Those kids are great to have around for the other kids to emulate.
Oh my God. Like Brad Lynn, when he started coming up through the program, which really changed our program, he was just, it was like, as a high school kid, he wasn't the greatest wrestler in the beginning, but he had just the mindset, and it just kept feeding off each kid. And it's all, I totally believe it's about a team.
Well, sure, but I don't know. Did you ever have a 30-to-1 ratio, bad versus good kids?
Dalton, just so you know, I didn't have many bad kids.
No, say bad. Less skilled guys. Bad is not a negative term.
Oh my God!
Bad at something.
When I first came to Hananiga, we never scored a point in the regional.
No. But did you have what? Get what I'm saying, right?
Probably when Brad.
I had some freshmen that were better than my seniors.
Yeah.
I guess you get what I'm saying. Like there are situations where the disbursement of like, oh man, we got to work on this. Why? Well, because these guys don't know it. It's like, but yeah, you got a guy over there, and unless you have a coach that's going to just do private lessons with them every day,
or you find somebody that's going to help be with them.
Again, that's harder. That's harder today now than ever because obviously, if you're going to get a guy. Yeah, if you're going to get a guy to come in, he's got to go through the hoops. He's got to do all the coaching stuff to get in. You can't just let them come in the room. It used to be very easily. You just, come on in. Now it's not. So now you have to get somebody to go through the hoops of getting hired by the school. Well, then the money, you're not going to get paid anything. It's less than anything. So to get somebody to commit that is almost impossible. So that is harder now than ever.
Not if you love the sport.
It's still hard. I mean, you still got to make a living, and you still got to spend time with your family. You still got to figure your life out. I mean, that's a
you just
got to
make
job
up those 30 other guys, which is a small number compared to what we had. But those 30 guys, you're going to just make them better and make sure they make that other kid. Eventually, after a year, there's a kid that's going to, I'm going to work out in the off season with this guy. Oh, I'm going to work out in the off season with this other. It just builds it up. I mean,
sometimes.
Oh, all the time. It wasn't our program all the time.
No. Sometimes those.
All the times.
Yeah, but not all the guys excel. Like, I don't know. We would agree to disagree because
we're talking about 1%.
Yeah,
and you got to fill a team, and you got to make other people better. It's easy to coach a good kid. It's hard to coach bad kids.
Well, we could argue on that one.
Well, you can, because you got to take those bad kids that have never wrestled before high school, bring them in, and start coaching them.
Sure, a kid who's pretty good is
stay.
What?
And convince them to stay when it gets hard.
Yeah. When they're living crap.
It's easy to quit when you're not very good.
Here's maybe a different question. Like, you guys know how like some of the IKWF club kids, they do the middle school wrestling, but then they kind of don't do the middle school wrestling. It's kind of like half in, half out. And now it's changed more because they have the state tournament on the same weekend and stuff. But they used to be like, the club kids would come over and wrestle duels and stuff, but oftentimes they wouldn't go to practice because practice was like silly because they're teaching fundamental stuff, or not just fundamental stuff, but they're teaching like the base level, right? What about that? I mean, how is that any different? Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah,
well, I mean, those better kids don't go to that practice because it's not as conducive.
So you're saying at the high school level, like the better kids wouldn't come to the normal high school practice. They'd go.
I mean, this is the reason
then-
why people are going to other schools.
Right.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is such a small percentage, and that's kind of like driven by that's a parent probably never wrestled before in their life making those decisions, which
What
I
do you
see
mean?
a lot of nowadays.
All right. I gotta go. I'd like
Yeah,
to
you gotta
stay
get
on
the-
this conversation, but I do have to go to work.
You do?
Okay.
I do.
Well, we'll let you go,
Before
Dan.
we-
Good seeing you,
sorry.
Dan. All right, Marty, we can finish up. Last time I just cut him off, but we'll try to end it. But yeah, anything else? I mean, some of these things are, I think, some of these topics you'd have to really get into the details of them because it's not all good, it's not all bad. They're just situations that are happening.
It's
And,
everywhere now, though. It's in every sport.
Yeah, but I
Everything.
do think in wrestling, I mean, again, wrestling is it's a lonely sport because it's mostly done by yourself, but two, it's hard. You have to get really good training. And if you don't get good
But
training,
even if you get really, really good training, doesn't mean you're going to be a good wrestler. Sometimes you just end up being an average wrestler.
sure, but it definitely helps a lot.
Oh, of course it does. But that. But I
Yeah.
mean that's let's
Yeah, I'm never a guy who says that your situation should define how good you can get, right? I'm from Belvedere, okay?
right.
We have small percentage of people that were really that excelling at wrestling while I was doing it. In high school, there was good teams, but my junior, senior year, there were bad teams. So yeah, I'm not a guy who thinks like that you can't find success from within your situation, right?
Yeah.
Resourceful. That's a great word that I love is resourceful. So wherever you are, figure out how to fucking, be the best that you can be with the tools that you have.
Right. That's what's great about sport of wrestling. It's a
I
local
love it.
sport.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know how many times back in the beginning that was me and Brad Lynn, and that was it at wrestling at open mats.
Yeah.
And then things just started going more and more and more and more, and it is what it is now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely think that that's a thing. But at the same time, one of the advents that have increased the technical proficiency of wrestling is these club systems. So where a club would attract some of the better kids from all around in one area, and they would make basically a really good practice, having multiple practice partners, multiple live wrestling partners, and that helped people succeed. So it's like it's not. I don't even think you can argue that that's not an improvement of a situation when you have more high quality athletes.
Right, but
even
the same in those clubs, it's also a money making venture for that person who runs the club. So they're going to tell anybody, "Hey, this kid is really going to be good. He's going to be great. Make sure you keep bringing him here." And it's not just in wrestling; it's in all sports, man. They all have those things where, I get it. I mean, that's you got to sell your product, so which is good.
Well, no. I mean, I don't think you have to, and I think that's the challenge. And so for me, I can just tell you my own experience with building a gym. I have purposely avoided that. I am not trying to sell people on anything, and so one of the reasons, I guess one of the reasons why I'm a slower club is because I'm not trying to do that way. But I agree with you. There are a lot of people out there that are selling.
Yeah, I mean,
a product.
it's not just wrestling; it's everything.
Yeah. No, so I totally agree that's a negative. That's something that I try to call out as much as I can.
And it's a good thing if you're in a program where it's not very good and your coach doesn't do stuff in the off season. It's good if you can go and find a place to work out with somebody, whatever sport it is, and make yourself better in the off season.
Yeah, no, it's a complicated thing. And I think with all change, like some things are not going to, I guess sometimes it always is like if one thing happens, then the other thing fails, where I think a lot of this stuff is still capable of existing, even if certain guys go do other things. If we go back to the college, if the seniors, start going to college or whatever early, it doesn't mean that high school wrestling is going to fail or something like that. It's like there'll just be people doing different things.
It'd be interesting to see what they'd say, 15 years from now, if they felt like that decision that they made to not forego their senior year and go right to college, if that was the right decision, or if some of these guys are like, well, I guess, it could, yeah, I mean, as they're working now instead of wrestling, did you make the right decision? Because it's such a short span in high school, such a short span in college, and then it's life.
Yeah. But again, with all situations, some people would say it worked out. Some people say it didn't work out. Some
Right.
people, happy. Some
It'd be
people are
interesting to see what
upset.
the percentage is.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that there were a lot of distractions from high school that if you didn't have it, it might have actually been more productive in your life.
Yeah,
right?
learn distractions, though, man. Life is full of distractions.
Yeah, no. I definitely agree.
Don't you have somebody, little kid crawling across that's a distraction.
Yeah.
You got to learn to work around things. And
no, I definitely think so. But you know what I'm talking about. When you're a high school senior, there's stuff that you can get into that isn't productive in your life, and so I think it's going to work out for some, and it's also not going to work out for others. Some people are going to be really happy about it. Some people are going to be maybe resentful or cynical about it. Maybe it wasn't their idea, but these things are happening. So
yeah, that's for sure.
All right, Marty. But yeah, any golf talk? You guys, I played golf yesterday. Shot 2 over par.
Where at?
Atwood.
I played yesterday at the Ledges.
Okay. How's the course? They got the.
It's still wet in spots.
Do they have the sidewalks? Did they renovating?
Yeah, they're
cart paths.
Yep, they got all the cart paths done.
Okay,
so it's good. Yeah.
We'll have to get out because yesterday I played really well, and I'm pretty confident that if yesterday was the game, then I'm going to play in this tournament. But we're going to have to get out beforehand, and you're going to have to see if I have enough skills for it.
Yeah, I'll have Marianne come with us.
Yep. No, we'll set it up. But other than that, good talking to you.
All right,
have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I will. See ya.